Another Bulldogs performance, another poor defensive effort. But is there light at the end of the tunnel? And can a Souths player be the Dogs' knight in shining armour? All that and more on today's The Kennel NRL podcast with my trusty co-host, Dibbo. Good evening, Dibbo. How you going?
Good evening, mate. You sound all positive.
Energetic.
I thought you meant to be doom and gloom.
I've had about 7 coffees today, so...
Or was it he's somehow kept Penrith down under 80 points? Because that shocked me as well.
Honestly, there's a lot of good, I think, happening in the team. There's a lot of bad. You can't sort of escape that. But I don't know. I'm feeling a little bit positive about the Bulldogs this week. Just based off, I guess you're right, not letting Panthers score, 60 plus against us, where we could have easily folded to let them, run right on us. But I mean, I'm going to give my thoughts. But from an outsider's perspective, what did you think? Because a lot of the feedback that I've had from Doggy supporters is that, and even Panthers supporters, is that the Panthers put the Q in the rack. They stopped playing in the second half. Now, I have my thoughts on that, but I wanted to hear what you had to say first.
No, I honestly thought Canterbury put in the effort. I don't think Penrith put the Q in the rack whatsoever. I just think Canterbury just went out there all effort. They had a few players playing injured as well. If anything, it was Penrith that walked away quite disappointed from that game because a fair bit of fans at home that watch footy were basically held great fears for Canterbury. They were thinking 70 plus or 80 plus. Like myself, I thought St George's point scoring record was going.
Come then, always have that score.
Hopefully Penrith just rest their players, but mate, 44-18.
Yeah.
That's actually quite admirable. I know. I mean, for the side they fielded out there, they're severely depleted. And look, everyone thinks, how could these things go so wrong? Well, there's a number of contributing factors. Another contributing factor is a 17th team in the NRL. So basically, that's about 35 players gone. That's 2 or 3 first graders to each side. I mean, it has a big effect.
Agreed.
So that's another problem. Obviously, another issue is a lot of injuries. I know on the weekend for a fact, I think Reid Marnie and Jaden Ockenball were injured, and I don't think they were obliged to play, but they're in such a diabolical situation where Preston was missing, and that's on top of the other roughly dozen players that aren't there because of injury. So, and with that, basically, Canterbury have gone out and signed Liam Knight. Who would be, in the top 17 at a lot of other NRL clubs.
Souths just have a great forward pack.
Yeah, look, Knight was there regular there for a while. I think he played in that 2021 grand final.
I don't think he did.
Actually, but he's featured prominently. He has had a bit of issues in recent years, but I think he's overcome that, and he deserves his opportunity once again. I mean, it's not going to hurt to bring someone else in. A fit body.
Look, I think...
It's either that or they can just run out there with 15 players.
You're absolutely right. And I think you've hit the nail on the head on a few points that I want to delve into, right? So the first point I want to make is, do I think that Penrith put the Q in the rack? Maybe a little bit. Maybe they didn't push as hard as they could have. So what I'm trying to say is, if the game was on the line, which it never was going to be, but if the Bulldogs even had a bit of a sniff, the Panthers could have taken it to the next level and rubbed us out completely. So we were never a chance of even coming close to a win. But I think what myself as a Doggies fan, I'm trying to speak to other Doggies fans about and get them to understand is, we had over 40 tackles in their 20, right? So when I say the Panthers didn't put the Q in the rack, as in they just didn't fall off, we still attacked. It wasn't like they stopped playing. We tried to fight back with our own pressure, with our own attack. Mind you, this is with probably the worst first grade team the Bulldogs have ever named. Like, let me just say, right, Hayes Perham at fullback, Alamotti at wing, Wilson hasn't even played 10 NRL games yet, Kiraz is in his first full year of first grade, Gerald Skelton 3 games, right, Averillo playing out of position, he started at centre in the beginning of the year, he's playing 7 now, right, you've got Max King playing injured, Raymond Fatalamara doesn't even want to play a prop, Ockenball playing injured, Waddell, Reid Marnie playing sick, Harrison Edwards, handful of games, playing out of position at prop. Curtis Morin, 5'2", runs like an absolute animal, only a handful of first grade games. And Sam Hughes has played, 6 first grade games? I mean, if you want to put it into context, we put 18 on them, right? Only 3 other teams have put more points against Penrith in Penrith than the Bulldogs. And they had their full complement. Spencer Leniu went off injured, but they still had their full complement, right? Jarrell Skelton made over 190 meters for more than 18, 19 carries, scored a really, really good try from the air off a burden kick, right? Our props and our team did not stop trying. Kiraz was tearing and ripping. Blake Wilson, on the sideline, just narrowly missed scoring a really good try. Alamoti, okay, his defense isn't great, but he's only 18. His effort was good. His effort was excellent. My point is that if you look at how we performed against the Broncos, I thought despite losing, worse than against the Broncos, we played much better and they were there for each other. Granted, we were never going to get close to Panthers. They're an amazing team, won 2 grand finals on the trot.
I just think Averillo was wonderful once again. It was busting him up the middle.
I'll never get over the fact that we let him go. I'm sorry, but if there's one mistake that I think the Bulldogs should be criticised for, it's not re-signing Averillo.
I reckon Averillo, if he played in a side that had, on his side, gun winger, gun forward on the inside of him and a gun half the link up there, he'd probably be top 4, top 5 centres in the game. He's got blistering pace. He knows how to find a hole. He can finish.
He can pass.
He's absolutely, he's got the whole attribute.
He's fantastic.
I can't believe it. I still can't. And then I'm hearing basically, so Averillo's gone. I mean, what was he demanding? 300, 400,000, let's say?
Worth every dollar.
But I'm hearing they're going to bring Blake Taff in. So what was the point of letting Averillo go? Or keep Averillo and bring Taff in to complement him. So
build a strong 30 as opposed to a strong 17 or 18.
I still don't understand that. Maybe there's something we don't know. Maybe he was demanding big bucks or he's been given the big bucks elsewhere. So yeah. I still don't understand our local product as well. So
but how good
no matter how much you explain it to me, I can't get over it.
How good's Skelton though?
Yeah, he belongs in first grade. Obviously just work more on his defense. His attack, he's made for first grade.
Bro, third first grade game.
Yeah, he's made for it.
Scores a mad try in the air. Juggles the ball, holds onto it, scores.
He's a big body too, so.
Big body, not scared to get in and amongst it,
High work rate, yeah.
Massive work rate. If we had, and here's the thing, if we had a few good forwards backing up our, the Skeltons, the Averillos, the Kirazes and the Foxes and stuff like that, can you imagine what could be possible?
I'll tell you what, if you do end up getting Taffy next year, although I wish you kept Averillo, you'd put him fullback and you'd put Crichton to pair up with Fox centre wing combination.
That'd be a great combo.
Be absolutely deadly with kick out on that side.
Incredible, yeah.
And whoever the half is to feed them, that'll be a very solid left edge.
That'll be
one of the better left edges in the comp. So just need to get those middlemen, hopefully.
Yeah, but what's still concerning for me, despite some of the positivity around that game, and I know a lot of people say, oh, how can you have any positives? Honestly, the situation we're in, if you want to be critical and talk shit, look, you can talk shit, and there's a lot of shit to talk.
No matter who you sign, if it's not going to be Payne Haas or Nathan Cleary, they're always going to be critical. So
agreed, and it's a great segue that you bring up whoever you sign, because I want to talk about Liam Knight, right? I want to talk about the Liam Knight signing coming to the Bulldogs. On Facebook and Twitter, I said it was a shrewd signing by the Bulldogs. And people were like, shrewd, I don't know.
Having a strong 30 is extremely important. We've all seen it with injuries, suspensions, HIA.
Look at us.
Rep footy, whatnot. Like, your players have to play injured on the weekend. And he's already thin on players. Like, they've got to understand Liam Knight's there. He's only there till the end of next year. So they've gone out and signed him on a 2 or 3 year contract. If he does play well, they'll reward him another 1 or 2 years.
And he's got everything to prove, right?
He's 28 years old. He's in his prime, so...
And so he's got, there is every chance that he can succeed at the Bulldogs. But what I want to talk to you guys about, and look, feel free to respond to us in the comments or on Twitter or wherever you like. And also make sure to like and subscribe, because there's a lot more content coming, and we're going to continue having these discussions. But my thinking is, right, sorry.
Yeah, you go.
My thinking is this. Liam Knight is currently on the bench or in the extended bench for the Rabbitohs based off the excellent forward pack that the Rabbitohs have with Murray, Kolomatangi, you've got Burgess, you've got Tavita Totola, you've got Hame Sele, they've got Savila Havili, they've got Cameron Murray. They've got such a strong forward pack that someone like Liam Knight has had to fight his way back in over after having to fight his own personal demons. Right? And everybody's saying, we take the rejects, we take this, we take that. My opinion is this. We know what he can do. He's coming into the prime of his career as a prop. He would not have been on much and
second row. I think he's more of a second rower.
He plays as a prop. He plays prop second row, but he does
more of an edge runner, I see. But look,
regardless, even if he's an edge second rower, instead of playing Ockenbaugh injured or Corey Waddell, who's got no attacking flair whatsoever, no disrespect to Corey Waddell, I think he does well in defense for us. I really, really do.
Yeah.
When you have someone that can actually run hard, bend the line, potentially have an offload, this adds an extra dimension to our team. But he's also got experience.
Hands down, he's played about 70 plus games, roughly, I think.
I think he's played more than that. But regardless, he's got the experience that we don't have. South will probably be chipping in a little bit of his salary. Bulldogs are paying for the rest of that salary. He brings experience. He brings size, right? And there aren't many options right now in the NRL to sign people.
I'll tell you how Phil's gone on this, or the recruitment strategy of Canterbury. You can tell it. He's not there to probably be your week out-and-out starter. He may excel and be, but I can see they brought him in to strengthen their squad, add that extra depth, which tells us that Canterbury, they're still going to go for two or three middle forwards.
Absolutely.
They're going to go after your Fodawakas, they're going to go after your Fafitas, after your Tinos, after your McLeans, who else,
Haas.
And Payne Haas. There's quite a bit available out there. So he's not there to be your marquee signing. No.
Absolutely.
I don't really see him as a starter. I mean, if he really displays that form, he maybe, but I see him as somewhere maybe on the bench, or he's there to back up the rest of the squad, and he's good enough to start and be in the 17 at a lot of clubs.
I mean, who would you rather have on the bench? Someone that's played 5 games, right, and not providing as much go forward as we need, or someone with experience that can come on there and carry on the momentum after someone like a kick out comes off because he hasn't played in 5 months. It's all about perspective and understanding what the team will need moving forward. Let's be honest, right? Our forwards, we're going to take a couple of years until we build up, but we have to build from the ground up. It's not just, hey, let's just get the one forward and he's going to be miraculous overnight. We were having this discussion last week. Yeah, he'll make a difference, but he's not going to turn us into world beaters on his own.
You need to recruit extensively. So a few in the forwards, a few in the backs, and a few in the middles, and every couple of years or every year, you just slightly tweak it.
And that's what, and that's why I think this is a smart signing. And if he plays for us against the Dolphins, he'll be great coming off the bench for us. Now, the other point of discussion is people don't understand or believe that the club is going backwards. Some of these signings that we're making, right? People want to look at the score on the weekend, not take the game into context, or the team that we fielded into context, nor the signings that we've made, and then they will say the club's going backwards. Do you think the Bulldogs are going backwards? As an outside observer, right? You're a Dragons supporter. Dragons have been going backwards for decades, but I want you to tell me, do you think the Dogs are going backwards?
Look, I don't think they're going backwards. Like, if you look at their front office, they've assembled quite a strong team. Maybe the coach, is he the right coach or not? The jury's still out there.
But can you make a determination on whether he is the right coach after having such a massive injury crisis this year, not having the team?
Look, Canterbury will progress. I mean, you got Arthur Laundy and his son in the corner as well. They've already tried targeting the marquee players in the game. I mean, the fact that those players are talking to your club tells me that it's inevitable that Canterbury will progress. They've, I think they're, through the juniors, they've really strengthened up this year. They're doing well in the reserves. It's just a matter of time they do break through for their first grade. So, it's going to take 2 or 3 seasons. I know the fans have had enough of suffering, but I reckon a couple of years and, they definitely will have a very experienced squad. All those youngsters that, they've been debuting this year or last year,
will pay us dividends in years to come.
Of course,
we'll
mate.
reap what we sow. But you know,
They may not all be there, but you'll have a core of them basically.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, whereas if you go to St George, they've basically been rotting since Wayne Bennett left. So I think it's just taken farcical, basically decisions and embarrassing ones in the media for them to basically start acting. And I mean, the only thing I'll probably give St George over Canterbury at the present being is they've gone and got Flanagan. But if you look at their front office staff, it's pretty quite ordinary who they got in there. So, I mean, I know Flanagan's a premiership winner, but if you ain't going to get the support of the front office,
It's an uphill battle.
I mean, he's got a lot to do, you know, so
I think
it's only limited what he can do.
I still think it'll be great for the Dragons to have someone like Shane Flanagan there. You know, actually, speaking of Flanagan, I have to say this because this has been on my mind all weekend. I want to say props to Carl Flanagan for the effort he put in against the Panthers.
I think he's embracing hooker. Like, he probably sees himself as a hooker now from more reports. I think his dad was also saying he's starting to see himself as a hooker. I mean, he's in and amongst it, doing all the hard tackles.
He's not scared. He has all the effort in the world. And to be honest, when your team's doing so badly and we just don't have the cattle, all you want is effort. And every time Carl Flanagan's been in first grade, may not be the best player.
I think he's got to ping his ears back and try to take out some quick dummy half scoots right up the middle, similar to what Danny Badiris or even Robbie Farah used to try to do.
But he hasn't played dummy half before in his career. So for him but for him to put in the effort that he's put in on the weekend,
it's huge.
I have to say, like, I want to take things really in context, right? We're up against the best team in the competition for the last 4 years. Let's be real with ourselves. It's not saying that we were ever a threat to the Panthers, right? And to be honest, I don't think there are many Bulldog supporters that begrudge Penrith. I think we're all pretty happy that, you know, out west Penrith are doing so well. Yeah,
they're a model for a lot of other clubs to
follow.
Yeah, to emulate, basically.
But I mean, how many Bulldogs fans, or even St George fans, would you see that begrudge the success of Panthers? Honestly, I would love to see them get a three-peat. I think they deserve it.
I don't begrudge their success. If anything, I just admire it, to be honest.
Absolutely.
I mean, we haven't seen an NRL side in the modern era. I mean, I wouldn't consider Para in the 80s the modern era. That's long gone.
Definitely not.
That was my dad's generation. And my dad still talks about Para. Yeah, growing up, all we did was talk about Para. He didn't follow him.
Yeah.
Until now, Ray Price, Brett Kenny.
And the Dogs still beat them in the grand final.
You know?
But anyway, just... But, you know, you look at... They've got so much strike across the park. And even when they lose an Isaac Tungle, they bring in an experienced Tyrone Peachey.
They can bring 2 or 3 in their set.
And they don't... Even with their second grade team, they would beat us. Right, but as a Dogs team that has been struggling and has been, you know, bashed from pillar to post all year, I have to say that there were a lot of positives. It was horrible to see our defense so poor up in our 20-meter line. It just seems like we can't defend in our 20-meter line. But there were other aspects that you can say were positive. We were attacking the whole game. We were trying to make a difference the whole game. And you know what? I thought Burton gave 150%. Burton did not stop the whole game. And, you know, to see someone like Burton, who could have quite easily stayed at Penrith and gotten all the accolades, be at the Bulldogs, continue to put in the effort, continue to make, all the effort that...
He had the opportunity of a lifetime to be the marquee player. I mean, that's an opportunity of a lifetime. You don't knock that back. If you knock that back, you don't deserve to be in first grade. And he seized it with both hands. So,
and you know, he's just... Like, I'm so proud of him as a young 5'8" to have to go through all the adversity at the Bulldogs, but still to be putting in that effort. You know, he's kicking from the sideline for goals has been really, really good. You know, our forwards are where it starts to get quite sad. And because it's not all rainbows and butterflies. Like, you know, there have been reports that the Bulldogs have told Raymond Faitala Mariner and Ryan Sutton that they're free to leave if they find another club.
Yeah, I mean, a smart move. I mean, you got to be ruthless.
You have to be.
I know Phil and the football directors want to basically free up playing positions, free up cap space. I mean, it's a competitive market out there. It's not only Canterbury trying to get players.
Absolutely. St. George will be in the market. West, Tigers are going to be in the market.
Yeah, of course. Roosters with their ever-expanding sombrero.
Even the Dolphins will be in the market for sure. They've got money to spend.
Wayne wants to bring more depth to his squad already. He's already got it thin. And
rightfully so.
You know, there'll be a merry-go-round.
But it's interesting, right? Like, there were reports as well that Raymond wasn't happy playing prop and lock. He wanted to play second row, and he wasn't happy with the training intensity. I've never really heard of a player complaining about that before.
Oh, it happens. It just doesn't normally make it to the media.
So my question...
there's a rat in there. Yeah.
But do you think...
There's a spy.
Do you think that, given the injury list that the Bulldogs have, that this maybe they're going or they're overextending at training?
I don't know. I mean, I've never been part of first grade training sessions to, you know...
No. What I'm saying is, What I'm saying is, do you think that Raymond Fatala-Mariner is being a bit of a pansy, or
maybe he's got a valid point?
That's my question.
Look at the extensive injury list you guys have had.
Yeah.
You know, maybe they are going too hard at training. Maybe it is a punish.
Mm.
You know, like it needs an external review how they're doing things, because like it's a never-ending injury toll.
It's massive.
Like it's literally been a never-ending injury toll from pre-season, not even round 1 to round 21 now.
Yeah, round 22. Round 22.
Round 20. It has not stopped. Something's going on. They need a review, a proper external review, not an internal review where the guy that's conducting or that reviews himself just tick himself off, or he has a mate in there. Get an external review. It's black and white.
Because it just looks like it's one step forward, 2 steps back sometimes with our injury list. That's the way I feel like it's been.
Like you seem to get 2-3 players back, and then all of a sudden, bang, 4 out.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
What's the situation?
So what's the go this week against the Dolphins? It seems like you got your 5 stars back, and then do you lose 8 players?
Well, I mean,
after they play them.
So we get Fox, Kickow, Burns, Ryan Sutton, Toby Sexton. We get. Who else do we get back?
Where's that game at?
That game's up in the Sunshine Coast.
Yep.
You know, we get Liam Knight, who could potentially play for us this week.
I'll tell you what he will do. Either is he eligible to play a reserve grade, like for you guys, like in the finals and all that?
I'm not sure,
because I saw something.
I don't think so, because he would have had to play a minimum number of games.
I saw something today. I think he's got in there. So a lot of your reserve graders don't overplay their quota in first grade, so they're ineligible for the Bulldogs finals run in reserve grade. I think the Dogs are coming first in reserves.
No, we lost 2 games on the trot.
Yeah, but okay, they're in the hunt for the grand final.
Yeah, they are in the hunt.
You know, it's good. It's good thing to do. The confidence of the players to win a reserve grade premiership, because they're the ones that are going on to first grade next year for you guys.
True. So let me tell you. Josh Adokar, Braden Burns, we get Kickow, we get Marnie should be back to full health. Pele, Chris Patolo, Jacob Preston,
that's
Ryan Sutton.
It's going to be a good game up there. I think you guys, it's going to be a lot close. Oh, look, it's not going to be a shellacking. I think you guys can maybe even upset the odds, but it's away from home. It's going to be a competitive match. Have it this way. Got a lot of his stars back.
I think we'll be very competitive.
Hands down.
I wouldn't be surprised if we get a nice...
Tavita Pangai playing?
Yeah, Tavita Pangai will be playing. So if you look at who we get back in terms of, you know, we get 6 or 7 stars that
You'd
come
want
back.
to back your side if you got your players back, of course.
But people were going to disagree with me, but I actually think the Bulldogs might win.
Oh, they're never satisfied.
No, I genuinely believe...
They're never satisfied, but they're still going to tune in. So yeah. I wouldn't pay too much attention to those types, because... they'll just whinge more than what Piers Morgan does, or probably about the same.
No one whinges.
The good thing about
him.
these guys is they're still going to watch their team. They're still going to buy memberships. They're still going to buy merchandise.
And look, it's all passion. It's all passion, right? It's all passion. I understand that, and I love it. I'm the same. But if you look at who we get, you know, Serrano was paying, we get 7 or 8 first graders back that he couldn't choose for the Panthers game. So I'll be interested to see what team he does end up naming for the Dolphins. But if we can get Fox, Kickow, Sexton, Ryan Sutton, Pele, Preston, those players back, and then inject Liam Knight onto the bench as well, we've got a very decently rounded team that maybe won't gel, but we'll give it a go. And those defensive deficiencies may just start to repair themselves a little bit with a more experienced team.
With those players back, who are you now missing from your best squad? Just Luke Thompson?
It'd just be Luke Thompson, yeah.
Oh, wow. What a comeback.
That's what I mean. So we could, look.
It'll be a lot stronger, yeah.
And I think my honest opinion is I actually think Toby Sexton makes a huge difference for the team. Like a lot of people say, he's only played 1.5 games for the Bulldogs. Look, I'm with you. He's only played 1.5 games, but in 1.5 games of footy, he's helped guide 50 points for the Doggies. Right? Whereas before that, our attack was poor and our defense was horrible.
Is that a Saturday night game?
It's a Sunday afternoon, 2 p.m. game.
Oh, it's going to be a good one.
It'll be a very good game up there. What are your thoughts on Toby Sexton and his impact on the team?
He's added another dimension to the halves, so half spots are even more competitive now, so they'll be pushing each other. Just a new flair, new ideas for the forwards and the backs to work with. It also obviously helps the other halves to improve and himself to improve as well by pushing each other. So, yeah, there's no harm in bringing him in. So, I don't see what the harm was.
What do you mean?
Like, could you have spared that money and gone for someone?
No, I'm not even talking. I'm saying that I actually believe Sexton makes a monumental difference to our team. I think,
yeah, of course, in attack.
And look, defense is not obviously not on the.
I don't know. He plays more of a running game, more of a direct game. Whereas Flano sits there and directs traffic, where it just doesn't work with the squad they got.
The team needs direction, and I think
Sexton hits the line a lot.
But Sexton, one of the things that I think as a team, one of the things we've lacked in our 7, I reckon for even going back to when we did make the grand final, one of our problems has been that we haven't had a halfback that digs into the line and takes it on and passes it out the back. Because if you look at when Sexton was playing, most of our tries were actually in the opposition 20, spreading the ball and actually getting the numbers right. And the difference there, I think, is not just Sexton, but it's also Averillo at fullback. Right?
Sexton, he presses to the advantage line, so he's a runner of the ball.
And Averillo's there with his speed and his passing game to be able to get the ball out to the centres and the wingers. Whereas if you look at Hayes Perham on the weekend, they tried that play a couple of times and Hayes Perham either wasn't fast enough to get the ball across, or when he did, it found the ground. So I think, Sexton and Averillo, they're linking up through Burton.
Can you stop mentioning Averillo? The more I hear his name.
Yeah, I know. Bro, I'm a Doggies fan. It burns me.
He's going to the Dolphins, and I was just thinking, he's going to a great mentor in Wayne Bennett, but
I can't wait to see what he can do up there.
Jeez, how do you let that guy go?
I reckon Wayne Bennett will come in there. He'll be like, "Yep, I know what you are."
Is it too late for him to turn around and renege on his deal? Or?
Nah, the Doggies aren't going to do that. I don't think the Doggies do that, and I don't think the Doggies will offer him enough to do that. Because why would he do it if he's going to be getting paid X amount of dollars to go play under Wayne Bennett? You think about the allure of playing under the master coach for a year, right?
You know what? And also because Redcliffe's based in the north of Brisbane, he can literally set up camp on the Sunshine Coast in Caloundra, warm all year, great beaches, great women, and literally just do that half an hour, 45
minutes.
It's
haram.
Drive to training.
It's haram.
So I probably should take more work trips up there now. Sorry, Damo, but yeah.
But yeah, look, I reckon he'll walk in and when it'll be like, Bennett will be like, yeah, you're a fullback. And that's it. And you'll see him be one of the best fullbacks in the game. That's honestly how I look at it. Because he's got the speed, he's got the passing game.
Even now, like they got Tabuai Fido playing fullback. So he can even slot in the centres. Oh, you know what? He'll just slot in the centres.
But Hammer's been playing centre since Origin.
So he's been playing fullback.
Cody Nikorima.
No, he won't be there at fullback.
Can you imagine if Averillo plays fullback behind the team that the Dolphins have with Wayne Bennett coaching them? I think Averillo could be.
Because you have what's his name? Herbie.
Yeah.
He'll be on one centre. And then you either Tabuai will be in the centres or Averillo will be in the centres, and one of them will be at fullback.
Yeah.
That's going to be a great backline.
It's going to be an excellent backline.
Nikorima will be your utility. So
he could play anywhere. You can throw him at 6, 7, 9.
Or you're right.
He could be the super utility off the bench.
Or he'll just release him and free up some money.
I mean,
he's got a good young halves pairing.
Yeah, he does.
The best in the game.
I'm a big fan of Sean O'Sullivan and Isaiah Katoa. And then don't forget, he's also got Milford there to back them up if need be. So, like,
he can afford to release Milford or Nikorima.
Yeah, I mean, Milford's been all right, but
no, they've been decent. Yeah.
But look,
just needs a bit of speed on the wings.
It's just heartbreaking that Averillo's leaving. Honestly, Doggies fans, tell me what you think. How upset are you at Averillo leaving? Because for me, it's if there's any mistake that I would criticize the Bulldogs for in 2023, it's getting rid of Averillo.
I'll tell you I can tell you how they feel. I've got a mate called Finch. You've probably heard him mention.
Oh my God, you keep mentioning this bloke.
And Finch doesn't remind us at least 5 or 10 times a day that Everillo's going, then yeah, he hasn't had his ramp. I can tell you, Finch goes for his long walks in a depressive state. He still doesn't get it. So.
There's one of those montages where there's somber music playing in the background. And he's just looking out over the ocean, thinking about Everillo.
Yeah, that's right. And he sits on the swing himself at the park. And love you, Finch.
Oh God. But yeah, I think it'll be a good game up there on the Sunshine Coast. Dogs v Dolphins. It'll be the first time that we play them. I hope it's a good game. I like the Dolphins. I want them to succeed.
I'm surprised you're not going.
Oh, it's man, with travel's difficult these days.
You got to stop taking family holidays and start basing your holidays based on Canterbury away games.
2024, bro. When they're winning some games, no, I'm done. It just gets tough to travel sometimes, man. But no, for sure. Look, it would have been great up there to the Sunshine Coast Stadium. I think Averillo slots back into fullback. Burns comes straight back in for Alamotti. I think that Skelton makes way for Fox. I don't think Skelton will play this week. I think Wilson deserves to stay there, even though.
No, I honestly think they're going to keep Skelton.
It'll be interesting though.
He's been absolutely blockbusting on that wing.
He's got some. I think he's still got some mistakes in him.
I'd keep Skelton.
Look, he's incredible. I'm not against either way. I think both Wilson and Skelton have been great for us.
But Skelton's a power runner. Look at Brian Tuttle from Penrith. You're telling me Skelton's not as effective?
Skelton's in his third first grade game, and he's averaging about 180 meters a game.
There you go.
Right? Can you imagine this guy with a whole preseason at winger? With a whole preseason in the first grade, top 30, running hard. It would just be unbelievable. And then for him,
who's going to be packing your forwards? That's where the key battle is going to be in your forwards.
Look.
Who do you think it will be? It will be TPJ, Kikau, Preston. That's looking good already. Marnie.
What I can see.
Who's the rest?
What I can see is Marnie will go back to 9. Yep. I do see Tavita, Preston, and Ockenbaugh being the back row.
Or would Ockenbaugh get rested this week? He was carrying that injury. He shouldn't have been playing.
Yeah, I mean, depending on how he pulled up, he might play. And then you'll have Kikau. I think Kikau should be on the bench. Sutton will be on the bench or starting.
Sutton will be in there.
I think Sutton will come back. Before he got injured, I didn't think he was doing too badly. Honestly, I thought he was okay. He was doing what forwards do and just run up and get smashed. He wasn't bending the line exactly, but he was making meters, and that's what we need. We just need meter eaters. We just don't have them. Like
Raymond Fatala-Mariner will play this week.
Let me tell you something about Raymond Fatala-Mariner. If you've ever heard this before, right, I'll do whatever you want. He made 0 meters in the first half against the Panthers. Let me repeat that. 0 meters.
Jeez.
0.
That's not the first time he's put very bad stats in a half. What's the go?
0 meters. Like
he's just not happy, is he? I think they've just got him fed up now.
Yeah, I just think
those decisions need to be made. To me, it's not a tough decision.
But he's club captain, right?
It doesn't matter. You're putting up performances like that. He probably just doesn't have it anymore. I mean, or he's just not happy where he is. So the best thing is to cut
your losses, and
he might do better elsewhere.
He probably will. But for me, it's just what is 0 meters from a forward? No. What's your point? What's
the point of having him there?
Why are you taking up space if you're making 0 meters?
Exactly. He must be on decent coin.
He is on decent coin. It was, and the worst part is he was re-signed earlier this year.
Oh, he might stay then.
So
might work out a deal. Hopefully, you keep Ryan Sutton as well. I'm just worried he might end up at St. George. St. George's recruitment strategy.
And if you look at our forward pack, we've got Tavita Pangai Jr., Viliami Kikau, Raymond Fatala-Mariner, Luke Thompson, right? They're taking up like a third of our salary, and we're getting very little out of them. You can see why there's a bit of a rot in the team, right? This needs to be changed. And
I honestly hope Canterbury don't look at signing Fodawaker. I just hope they leave him for St. George, because that guy's absolutely
he's an amazing
and he
forward.
Won't be as pricey as the other forwards.
100%.
I guarantee he'll be there basically every round of the year, barring the
Origin
matches, because he plays for Queensland. And he bends the line. I mean, the Titans are going to bend over backwards to try and keep him, and then they got Fafita and Tino to worry about.
I honestly don't think
I'd rather keep Fodawaker and Tino over Fafita.
Yeah, I don't. I'm almost starting to think that the Titans may not lose either of them.
It's all right. There goes their salary cap.
Yeah, but when you have those forwards there that are performing, and Fafita's been in great form, and Tino's Tino, it's not a bad.
I just think Fodawaker's worth more than the 300 or 400 he's getting. I don't think he's even getting 400.
Is he a half a mil, 600,000 prop?
Oh, he's easier 600 if you're playing State of Origin.
Oh yeah, that's not a bad shout actually. I'm
600 is good money for him.
Yeah, I'm honestly. Yeah, I'm tempted to agree with you, to be honest.
He's your starting front right. He's like amongst the elite. Why wouldn't you pay him overs?
Yeah.
Think about it. How many props get to play State of Origin every year?
Yeah.
4 from each side.
Yeah.
So he's in the top 10. All right, chuck in the Kiwis. He's in the top 12 forwards in the game. Is that about right?
Yeah.
Front rowers in the middlemen. There's 17 teams out there, so you get about 2 middlemen in each club. So he's in the top third easy.
Let me tell you, just to highlight our forward dilemma, Raymond Fatala Mariner through the whole game, and tell me what you guys think. Am I being harsh, or as a Bulldogs fan, can I be frustrated with this? He ran for a total of 30 metres the whole game.
Geez, one kick return, and people like Teddy Tedesco will make more metres than that.
Just to put that into perspective, Reid Money was on there and playing sick, made 50 metres playing lock. Right? Now, you look at Jarrell Skelton.
Must have been off it in that game.
Jarrell Skelton,
for him.
197 metres.
Yeah, he's a power runner. He'll always make big metres.
Jacob Kiraz, 156 metres.
Yeah. Is he playing in the centres?
Yeah.
That's a good return.
That's an excellent return. And even Paul Alamotti, 112 metres.
Yeah, decent. Could have done more, but we'll take that.
And then you get to our forwards, RFM, 30 metres. Corey Waddell, 61 metres. Sam Hughes, 41 metres. Tavita Pangai Jr., 77 metres.
That's underwhelming by Tavita.
It's unacceptable. It's not underwhelming. It's unacceptable.
Yeah.
When you're getting doubled and tripled by your centres.
Because I know Tavita can return about 200 metres a game.
He can.
He was doing that at Brisbane. Even in well-beaten sides, he was returning huge stats. So why isn't he?
So what's going on with the doggies then? Is it a doggies problem? Is it a positional problem? I mean,
maybe the style they play. They just got to get it sorted in the off-season.
It's just, like Raymond Fatala Mariner only took 3 runs. Tavita Pangai Jr. only took 9. Like, if you want to get your numbers up, you've got to be busy. Like, you've got to be busy. You've got to go as a forward. You've got to make the meters. You've got to make the runs to get the meters, right? Like, and then you look at why our defense is so poor, or why the teams are all over us. It's because we're always defending, and then when they get to our 20-meter line, our forwards don't want to defend, don't want to attack. I mean, really, our forwards are getting doubled in run meters by every single team, every single week. And when they do play okay, we do a lot better, both defensively and in attack. Like, surely he can't, like Raymond Fatala Mariner can't keep his place in the first grade side with those numbers.
Oh, no, I don't disagree. Of course not.
I know we're harping on it, but you look at the stats and you think, this is just, it's
totally
just
agree.
Unacceptable.
Totally agree.
What do you guys think? What is it that is causing Raymond Fatala Mariner to only take 3 runs and make 30 metres playing at prop? It's the old sort of problem that you have. If someone doesn't want to be there, let him go. Why is he there? Why do we keep choosing him if he doesn't want to be there? Let him spend the rest of the year out in reserve gate. These numbers are unacceptable. He owned, how many tackles? He didn't even I want to see how many tackles he made, because, it's just, it's just not on. Honestly, all right, he made 42 tackles, but 3 runs as a prop.
Yeah, he's there not just to make tackles.
He's not just there to make tackles.
I got for a lot of tackles, but you got to offer more in meterage.
And again, you look at all our tackling stats, and we're making so many tackles compared to the opposition every single week.
You need those. You need your forward movers.
We need people to just have crazy eyes and tear into the.
Oh, of course.
Into the.
Spencer Lenia would have been a good signing, but yeah.
I don't know. I think we should leave the Panthers alone. You don't want to keep taking Panthers players. They're good, they're great, but we need to look outside that typical box we've been looking at. But yeah, look. What do you think? How do you think the Doggies will go against the Dolphins? What are your thoughts?
I said it'll be competitive. If they win, of course, yeah, they've got their one of their better sides back on. I don't think they'll get over the line, but I'm predicting something like 36-18 away from home in a competitive game. It's not a bad scoreline to go down by. They've got a lot of returning players. Obviously, match fitness is a key thing. And then again, I could be wrong. I mean, I think it's one of your best sides you guys are going to field this year. I know the Dolphins need a win. They're desperate to make the finals. So I think we'll be warm up there as well on the Sunny Coast. So might even, favour Canterbury as well. I think we're going to have a good game. If Averillo can get space and time, and him and the Fox will absolutely tear him, and hopefully Skeldon gets a run. So
yeah, I mean, if Sexton can control the attacking shapes like he did against the Rabbitohs in the early part of that Broncos game, where we could just have some defensive resilience, I think we could see like a 32-24 victory to the Bulldogs.
Get that win for him, guys.
Yeah, honestly, I do believe. And let us know what you guys think. Honestly, do you guys think I'm being a bit too optimistic in today's episode, or do you think that maybe I'm talking a bit of sense? I'm trying to see the light at the end of the tunnel. What do you guys think? Because I honestly believe if we can field the team with the return of Sexton, Viliami Kikau, Fox, Ryan Sutton, Franklin Pele, Jacob Preston, Braden Burns, and have a little bit more experience in our team and a little bit of go forward and drop someone like RFM who's not performing, I honestly think we could have a very good performance and build some momentum to close out the season. I'm being hopeful, but I don't think that that is beyond us, because in the first, say, 10 rounds of the season, I actually thought we showed some good we showed some good signs.
Injuries took their toll. Injuries
definitely took their toll. But we could be on the I think we're on the end of that. I think we may have just sort of weathered all that, maybe not weathered it well, but now we're going to start seeing some players return and start to see some momentum and some positive output from the Dogs. I'm just being optimistic, but I'd love to know what you guys think. And if you guys think I'm being a little bit too optimistic, feel free to tear me down. But that's my opinion. I'm really looking forward to the game. I'm just worried about our defense. That's really what I always come back to, is just our defense on the edges is just really poor. We don't slide well enough. That could be due to fatigue. It could be due to poor systems, or inexperience, as we sort of pointed out. But with some of that experience returning, we could definitely see a little bit better defense. So I'm saying 32-22 to the Dogs by 10 points.
It's a good shout, yeah.
As long as we perform and we perform well, that's going to do me. For me, that's going to.
I think the game will be decided in the forwards. That's where I see it.
Well, then that means we lose.
Well, that's the key battle. If your forwards hold their own, you guys will do a lot better than expected.
Well, I mean, as I say, with the return of Kikau, with the return of Pele, with the injection of Liam Knight, with the return of Ryan Sutton,
it's his first game in about 5 months.
Exactly. So
look, I'm sure he's looking lean, mean, fighting machine, but it's the match fitness. That's what it's going to come down to.
If you can get 40 minutes out of Kikau, if we can get 40 minutes out of him,
it's not the 40-minute part. It's the penetration and the intensity. That's where you're looking to. Kikau probably could even do 80 minutes if you wanted to, but it's the intensity it comes with.
I think he's probably just tearing at the bit to get in. That's what I think.
I'd love to, yeah, but match fitness comes, match battle hardened comes. It's a big
I'm saying if he plays 2 20-minute stints, he could make a difference for us.
No, definitely.
Yeah,
he might play. Is he coming? We'll see where he gets.
Yeah,
placed.
we'll see where he gets placed. But look, I'm excited. Honestly, I'm excited. I think if we can see Sexton continue to link up with Burton and just to give him that freedom to pass, honestly, we could see Fox put on a few.
Definitely.
Honestly, I'm very excited to see Fox play outside Sexton and Burton. It just seems like if we can get it right with them, Sexton could be our long-term half. What do you think? Do you think he has the potential to be our long-term half?
Depends how well he goes, I guess. I still think you guys can throw a bit of money out there to entice a halfback after a few years. I mean, with him, you can build up your squad, fairly.
Yeah. He's young. He's 22.
Yeah, I know. But Canterbury's the sort of club that normally attracts players. So,
but I mean,
when I mean attract players, I mean like more of the top class players.
But we don't need that. We need to build our own identity.
We'll beat around him for the next few years, but I'll just see you guys taking another step forward. That's how I see it anyway. I think that's what the plan is.
Look, I think he has the potential. He has the potential. And let me know. All right. I know people have been ripping into me about Sexton. He's only played 1.5 games. Let me know.
Because
I think he could be our long-term halfback, given that we get some forwards to give us some go forward. I honestly believe Sexton and Burton could be our long-term halves pairing.
I don't think Canterbury will settle because they just had a decade of mediocrity. And although they might start getting 8th or 10th place positions, they won't stop there. That's how I see it. They don't want to go back to the last decade.
I don't think Sexton is an 8th or 10th halfback. I think Sexton could be a premiership winning halfback. Maybe not in 2 years, maybe not in 3 years, but with the right team around him and as he gains experience and maturity, I genuinely believe he has the ability and the footy IQ.
He definitely has the drive.
To do it alongside someone like Burton, who we know is a freak, alongside the rest of the team, if we can continue to build towards it, I don't see why Sexton can't be that halfback that we need. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying if you want to recruit in the forwards, do you really want to go out there and pay $1 million for a halfback that's going to be good, but we've got Sexton who can be great as well.
Yeah,
Thoughts, guys? Just putting it out there because I just want to see some consistency from Sexton. If Sexton can continue to dig into the line, run, call our shapes, and help us spreading the ball to get out to the wing, to the edges, and expose other teams. You don't need too much from a halfback. You don't need him to be the flashiest or the craziest. We have players for that, right? We have players developing for that. If he can do his job and make everybody's job around him that bit easier, I think he's going to be good. He's going to go great.
Post us your comments, guys. Feel free to bash Fred in the comments as well.
I'm going to get bashed. I wanted to talk about a little bit around the Bulldogs.
Wooden spoon bowl. Oh no.
No, I mean we had the NRLW kickoff.
Oh, that was
last week.
Yeah.
What was that? Yeah, you don't sound too enthused.
No, I gave it a watch. Not a lot of it. Just I find it hard because you're used to the standards of the NRL, the elite standards, and it's just like you put on the NRLW and it's like,
it's got a while to go. Let's put it that way.
It's got a lot of improvement. You look at anything, man. I can watch under 12s game on weekend footy and the quality's better.
That's a bit harsh, bro. That's a bit harsh.
I'm not being harsh. I'm absolutely being honest. It's hard. Look, I gave them time. Even cross code sport, I flicked into the Matildas for about 5 minutes and flicked off because the quality was quite not up there. I think the 15, they played the under 15s about 7 years ago. They got flogged. The 15s, Socceroos or whatever you want to call them. So, it's just hard, seeing less quality out there and expect to give your attention to it.
I didn't watch too much of the NRLW, but I thought
I'll tell you what, that's probably the most I've watched besides tennis, because the women in tennis they're athletes, they're freaks.
They're almost on the same level as men, really.
They're sports, they're absolute freaks. I'll watch quality.
Yeah.
Regardless, but just... Look, I think the NRLW is one of the better team sports when it comes.
Sounds like you're a women's beach volleyball type of guy, Dibbo.
No, I don't really give. I don't really give volleyball. It's not one of my preferred sports. No.
Yeah.
No, I like tennis. For women, there's some freakish athletes over the years.
So, did any of you guys watch the NRLW, and what did you guys think of the quality? Dibbo's been a little bit critical, which is fair. No, I'm not saying it's unfair.
Critical. I'm just saying,
you're being critical of the quality.
The quality's nowhere.
I'm not saying
used to seeing something so high.
Of course, it's not going to be at that level.
It's hard. It takes time.
It takes a lot of time.
I might not even get it, grasp it in the end, but it's just hard.
Yeah.
Just seeing because you even will, for example, put on reserve grade for the NRL. For the and it's great. And then remember they split the 20s?
Yeah.
A lot of those guys were thinner and they were more zippier and flashier. And it just made for great watching attacking footy in the Jersey Fleet. That was honestly, I felt a better attacking product than maybe reserve grade or, even first grade. Because they were all literally 80 kilos.
Was that the under 20s competition you're talking about? Yeah.
Remember they had it. And remember those Warriors trio of those Warriors side. It was just great over the years. Omar played in them. So
let us know if you guys have watched the NRLW and what you thought of it. You actually mentioned the Warriors, and I want to talk about the Warriors because I'm very excited.
Are they your team now going into the finals?
They are my team. And I've always had a soft spot for the Warriors for a long time. And to see the way they performed on the weekend, I thought was so good. I was so happy to see them.
Top 4 coming, baby. Easy run home.
They're in the top 4.
I think one thing we've realised now, we're at the business end of the season, you can pretty much tell who are your cellar dwellers, who's not going to make the finals.
Yeah.
And then the remaining few teams that can still make the finals, who you think may drop out of the finals. And then you pretty much got the 4, basically you're about to say, look, this will probably be your top 4. You can pretty much pinpoint who your top 2 is already. which is going to be Penrith and Brisbane.
Yeah, that's right. It has to, hands down, they'll be the top 2.
You know, it's just now sorting itself out. Yeah. So hopefully Cronulla gets chucked out of the top 8.
We'll get to that, but I just want to talk about the Warriors. That try-saving tackle that Dallin Watney-Zelezniak made.
Absolutely free. How did
Sebastian
Canterbury let
Kris.
him go? Anyhow, I'm just taking the piss, but yeah.
No, but I mean, if you look at how he's...
I was taking the piss.
Yeah, but his form for the Warriors has been magnificent.
His form for Canterbury was decent.
He was very decent for Canterbury. There's no denying that. But just the whole team, you know, Charles Nickel-Klokstad has been fantastic. You know, Sean Johnson... How did this guy reinvigorate his career the way he has? It's remarkable.
Your personal favourite, Jas Tavanga's been steamrolling people off the bench. Adam Fanua-Blake, our producer's overall favourite's just been probably the best forward in the game.
Look, I think Adam Fanua-Blake is
I've liked the rise of Luke Metcalf inside Sean Johnson.
Incredible. To see Metcalf do what he's doing.
He just takes the pressure off Johnson, you know. Just adds another dimension to the game.
I'm very excited to see where they go this year. As I say, they're the team that I'm rooting for.
Playing some hot potato excitement footy like the Warriors of old. Remember Lauititi and
yeah, I never
Jones
forget them. But
Ivan Cleary was in that side as well.
But they've also got the resilience. Here's the thing.
Of course,
the Warriors have that resilience. So in years gone past, it would have been 20 all. 20 all, and you know that they're going to lose this game. You know that they're not going to be able to keep up. But the Warriors, they just kept going, and they did the right things. And sure, the Raiders are Canberra. They're such a
Canberra never goes away.
It's such a gritty team, but the Warriors held in. They got there, and I love seeing it. I love seeing it go the Warriors. I'm hoping that they can go far this year.
Grand final, baby. Premiership.
Let's hoping the Warriors can get there. Sharks.
Please throw them out.
I know you're not a fan of the Sharks, and neither am I.
Oh, look, I don't mind.
Look, I hate the Sharks because old mate ScoMo supports them. If there's ever a reason to hate a team, it's because ScoMo supports them. Now,
I thought Peter Costello was their number 1 ticket holder for a while.
Well, now it's ScoMo.
It gets worse and worse for that club.
I mean, you look at their team. And
who's next? Tony Abbott.
They've got a really good team. They don't have a poor back. They don't have a poor forward pack. They don't have poor second row. They've got a great halfback. Braden Trindle at 6. They got William Kennedy at 1. But they just somehow they seem to be just pooing themselves.
They got a really evenly balanced side. They got a great extensive forward pack. Hopefully they lose a few forwards because for how they're performing, they don't deserve them. So hopefully they lose like Tom Hazelton. Rudolph,
Bryce Hunt. I think he's on the market.
Hamanueli. Hopefully they lose all their forward pack.
Hamanueli's actually
being trash and then
injured.
Folded and relocated.
Perth Sharks.
Man, honestly, that's the right thing to do. They have a Cronulla, they have a Sydney base. That would be an absolute powerhouse financially, and just they'll have a reach from East Coast to West Coast.
But what's going on with them? Why do you think they're not performing?
They're going for a little rot at the moment. I think their halves are. I don't know. It's just they got a really long. The depth goes really. For the forwards, they should be sitting up their top 4, I reckon, or there.
Well, they were for a while, and
they
now
just can't seem to beat a top 8 side. There's certain players. Like Nico Hines ain't having a stellar season. He's only seemed to perform against St George.
No, I think honestly, I still believe after that State of Origin game, he hasn't recovered.
No, but even in the lead up to before State of Origin, he wasn't crash hot. He probably only had 2, maybe 3 good games, and it was against lowly sides like St George,
and the Doggies.
Yeah, you think about it, you could probably see you would have sent out a reserve grade halfback, and he would have done well against those sides.
That's true. I mean, look, they're still on 26 points. They're in the top 8. They're coming 6th at the moment.
I think they got the hardest run home. Them in Parramatta.
Yeah, they're hard.
Parramatta's got an absolutely hard run. They even got St George, and that's their only easy game, and they're not even guaranteed a win in that game.
Yeah.
They got a bye. Look, South's got the easiest run, them and the Warriors.
But bro, Rabbitohs are 9th. The Rabbitohs are hot on their heels. You can bet that the Rabbitohs will be in the top 8.
Lost 4 or 5 games. They honestly should never have lost, but they did it to themselves. But I still expect them to make the 8 somewhere.
Yeah, I think they'll
just let themselves down for losing those games.
Do you think that Rabbitohs will take the place of, say, the Eels in the 8, and then potentially the Sharks would drop out for someone like the Knights or even the Roosters potentially if they get on a winning streak?
Hang on a sec. Souths and who's sitting in 10th?
So Knights and Seagulls are both on 23 points.
Oh, that means only one side will probably drop out.
You think so?
Yeah, it'll either be Cronulla or Para. Oh,
They've both got. Listen,
Cronulla's got a hard run home.
So do the Eels.
Yeah, I've seen that. But I expect Eels to get about 6 points at least out of that. By St. George. And do they have Manly as well?
Let me just check. Give me a sec.
They've got a few home games. Have you seen their draw? It literally says, it's literally laughing at them. It's away, home, and then away, and then it's like, bye.
So this Friday, the Eels are versing the Storm.
Yep.
And the Sharks are versing the Panthers.
You know, historically, the Eels have done well against the Storm.
They have, but they're not playing as well as they were last year.
That's an away game, though.
Yeah, it's in Melbourne. Hang on, let me double check.
It is a away game.
Yeah. It's in Marvel Stadium.
Wow.
At Melbourne.
I'm marveling at that, but yeah.
And then next week you've got the Eels have St. George.
Yep.
And the Sharks.
That's a home game, but
Sharks have the Rabbitohs. So that could be make or break for either team.
I think I'm going to go to that Parramatta game. Hopefully my mate Hobbs can get a corporate box for us as he normally does, him and Sal. So
am I going to be invited?
I think it's only a limit of 3 people. You know, if we invite one extra person, it means less food for us in the corporate box.
So you fat shit.
Food means everything to me.
Sharks have the Titans then, and the Eels have the Broncos. So it's not an easy run home for the Eels by any measure.
I'd rather Parramatta make it in there because Cronulla literally got 10,000 fans.
Parramatta can get stuffed. And then the Sharks.
Whereas Para's got like 50,000 fans.
Then the Sharks have the Cowboys and the Eels have the Roosters. I'm telling you, none of these games. And then the Eels have the Panthers again, right? And the Sharks have the Knights.
So it's neck and neck.
It's very neck and neck. And
I hope Cronulla fold.
And then at the end, it'll be Sharks, Raiders, and the Eels have a bye in round 27.
They'll get about 6 points, I reckon, Para at least.
They didn't play very well last week, at all. So
they almost got away with that win as well.
Yeah.
A few players. I think Para will get there, hopefully.
Look, they're a good side. I'm not denying they're a good side.
Will Canberra miss out? Because they got a horrible for and against. I hope they don't.
No,
I see Canberra make the finals.
But other than the Warriors match, I actually think the Warriors have been keeping in it. Like they can make it. They won't be top 4. They'll be top 8. I see. But even if you look at the 5, 6, 7, 8. The Eels and the Sharks are more likely to miss out than the Raiders because I think the Raiders are in a little bit better form than both the Eels and the Sharks. But, you know, it's an exciting next few weeks for rugby league fans, let me tell you. And I guess, with that...
I'll tell you what I did today. I went onto the artificial intelligence, the AI, the chat GPT. So I typed in who's going to get wooden spoon. Yeah. And according to the AI, West Tigers will win 3 games more this year. Georgia will win 2 and Canberra won't win 1. So, meaning Canberra will end up with a spoon. Sure. He's not happy to hear that. It's not about being happy. It's about we've got a buy in hand. Yeah, I know. And we've got a lot of players coming back. So, I actually think... Do you think the spoon's decided? Yeah. Look, unfortunately, I think the spoon is decided. Why is that unfortunate? I mean, for Tigers fans, because look, you don't want to dig the heels. You don't want to dig your boot into the Tigers. Like they're trying to make a comeback, and I think they'll be a lot better next year. Have they recruited anyone for next year? So they got the Fayunu brothers. Yeah. And I'm sure they've signed I'm pretty sure they've signed the prop from England. Put them down for 3 spoons in a row. I hope not. I hope not. From what I've just heard. Anyway, anything else? No, but look, like and subscribe. Feel free to bash my co-host in the comments. Just love me as much as you can. So. They love you anyway, bro. I just want to say thank you guys if you've made it to the deep end. It's always great to read your comments and to engage with you guys on the social media platforms, but especially in the YouTube comments. It drives engagement and just seeing you guys comment on your thoughts on everything that we discuss is just always such a pleasure to read and to engage with. So please continue to do that. Share this podcast with anyone who loves listening rugby league, loves engaging. And yeah, thank you once again for all the support. We've got a special episode coming out on Thursday. We had a sort of an intimate interview with Keith Galloway about his career, about the NRL, and about a lot of things just around rugby league. And it was such a wonderful chat. And we can't wait for you guys to see it because I'm sure you guys are going to love it. Got intimate between 2 redheads. Oh, mate, my redheads are taking over. But that brings us to the end of the episode.
thank you so much if you have made it here. And, you know, whoever you support, good luck. I hope you enjoy the rugby league on the weekend and you have a wonderful time. Till next week, up the doggies.
Ciao.